The Twins had about as good a redemption story going as you could possibly imagine on Saturday. Unbelievable vibes, flying high, feeling like things might turn around, and then bam, they slap you in the face on Sunday with an ugly loss, a beat themselves loss. We're going to talk about this Oakland series. What's up? This is Tom Froming. Thanks for tuning in. And before we get going, I want to say for more Twins talk here on YouTube, please consider subscribing. Very close to a milestone here on the channel. We're just under 2,500 subscribers. So thank you so much to everybody who has supported the channel to this point. And speaking of support, that's sort of what these series reviews have come to be. A little Twins fan support group. So we're going to get into this series. We're going to talk more about sort of these games and player trends and sort of the stat breakdowns than we've done in the past. Just started to be the same thing over and over again. As I'm sure all Twins fans can relate to it, it started to feel like a lot of these games have been the same thing over and over again. That's why Saturday was so great. It broke up the monotony of just getting kicked in the face. But let's talk about Friday first, because that sort of set everything up. Kind of funny how that worked for Saturday, in my opinion. So game one of this series on Friday, the Twins lost 6-1. Not a very competitive game. With one out in the bottom of the seventh inning, the first two Twins hitters reached, and then Andrelton Simmons tapped out for the first out, and Ben Rortvedt was due up, and a lot of people were sort of surprised or disappointed that Miguel Sano pinch hit for him, because Miguel Sano, of course, is off to a terrible start so far this year. So Rocco Baldelli takes out Ben Rortvedt, puts in Sano, and he strikes out. And a lot of Twins fans were grumpy about that decision. It wasn't really a high leverage situation. The Twins were down 5-1 at that point. Yes, there was two men on, but it was not a high leverage situation. It definitely gave an opportunity for both Miguel Sano and Rocco Baldelli haters to really enjoy themselves and fume about how terrible those two guys are. And it almost feels to some degree with some people, this is a very small part of the fan base, but I think you all know who I'm talking about. But there seem to honestly feel like some people who are enjoying seeing the guys who have struggled and they've ripped on continue to struggle. Maybe even more than if the Twins were playing well. So those people had their enjoyment on Friday in that loss. But that storyline, it was kind of ironic that was the talk of Friday's game because of the dramatics on Saturday. Game two Saturday, Twins win this one 5-4. And sticking with Sano, this was an encouraging game, I thought, overall for Sano. Obviously, his final plate appearance was the punctuation, the exclamation mark on the game. But in his first at bat, he put the ball in play to the opposite field. That was a very harmless pop fly out, but still encouraging that seeing him go that way. And then in his second at bat, he showed excellent strike zone judgment. Unfortunately, it was better than the umpires. He gets punched out on a plate appearance in which he only sees one ball in the strike zone, two called strikes out of the zone. In that, a nice piece of pitching. You have to tip your cap to the pitcher for hitting that spot multiple times outside of the zone. But just, come on, umpire. This is big leagues. Come on. So very frustrating, I'm sure, for him to get rung out that way. And then in his third at bat, he hits the ball 110.5 miles per hour. It's just right at a guy for an out. So that's about as frustrating a day at the plate as you can have. And he's had just a really awful time of it so far this year. But he didn't let this get him down, because he gets another chance. And in the eighth inning, he hits a go-ahead opposite field 3-run home run to give the Twins really their first late inning heroics in what felt like forever. So just absolutely massive. It felt like a weight being lifted off, just a huge moment for this team that's just not had anything positive, especially in the late innings, happen for them. Before we move on to some other stuff, I do want to talk a little bit more about Sano in specific. He's been losing some playing time. I can get behind that. I can. But letting him lose playing time to Willians Astudillo is one thing. I know La Tortuga's been playing well. He has been playing well. And I like him as a bench piece. He's very defensively versatile. Obviously, his ability to catch is makes him very unique. But he is not a long-term solution. He is not a potential guy that you would want to turn to as your everyday first baseman. He's not replacing Miguel Sano at first base. Once he gets healthy, if they want to put Alex Kirilloff at first, cool. And have him eat into Miguel Sano's playing time. If they want to put Luis Arraez at third base and have Josh Donaldson get some reps at first base, again, I'm fine with that too. Those guys are, either proven everyday guys or guys who are showing that they should be budding in that sense in Kirilloff. So I just want the guy who's costing Sano playing time to be a potential long-term solution at first base. That's all. And I don't view Willians Astudillo as that. Sano, no matter how you feel about him, he's not going to hit his way out of a slump on the bench. That's just not going to happen. He's not going to get right coming in and playing part-time. And, he's up and down. And he's going to strike out a lot. He's been very bad this year. He had a poor 2020. But even if we put those two together, that's still less than 300 plate appearances we're looking at here. So it's not like he's completely hopeless. I think there's still reason to give him opportunities, but I would understand definitely if the Twins started to phase him out. I just think who is replacing him is a big piece to that kind of picture and that logic of kind of phasing him out potentially or not having his play as much. They need to have a big picture plan. And to me, putting Willians Astudillo at first base isn't really a big picture plan in that regard. Anyway, just my thoughts on Miguel Sano in particular. But to continue that redemption theme of Saturday's game, you had Alex Colomé, who's obviously pitched very poorly in his early tenure with the Twins. He earned the win after delivering a scoreless eighth inning, so that guy's bouncing back. And then Hansel Robles, who's bouncing back after just an absolute nightmare of a 2020 season for him that he had with the Angels. He protected a one-run lead to earn his first save with the Twins. So it's like, okay, we got Sano hitting the big home run, looking pretty good in his other at-bats as well. We got these bullpen guys that have been sketchy. The bullpen's been awful. They got the job done. So it felt like after Saturday's game, like this could be a turning point. Like it's not all going to be bad. And then they come out today and just kick you in the face as a fan because they lost that game. It's one thing to get beat. This is Major League Baseball. All these teams are really good. It's one thing if you just go out and you get beat on any given day. The best teams in baseball have that happen to them sometimes. But you can't beat yourself. And especially when you've dug yourself into this kind of hole the Twins have, you cannot beat yourself. And that is what the Twins definitely did Sunday at Target Field against Oakland. They beat themselves. Ben Rortvedt made a downright embarrassing mistake during a rundown, allowing Elvis Andrus to make a really savvy, give him credit too, he was a savvy base running play to kind of coax an interference call. But Rortvedt's got to peel out. He's got to get out of the way there. You can't, once you're not making a play on a ball and you're a fielder, you cannot be in the way of the base runner. If you're making a play on the ball, that's a different story. Just bad field awareness by Rortvedt there. Again, that was embarrassing. And then it got even worse. Taylor Rogers should have ended the ninth inning with a tie ball game on a double play. Definitely should have been an inning-ending double play. Josh Donaldson just completely whiffed on it. Just the most 2021 Twins season thing you can possibly imagine. A huge situation in the ninth inning, just misses the ball. Just unbelievable. And then the go-ahead run scores on a wild pitch that Mitch Garver really should have gotten himself in front of. He'll tell you that, I'm sure. He's the one calling the pitches. You know what pitch is coming. You got to get in front of this thing and bury it and keep that go-ahead run at third base. So Taylor Rogers really let down by his teammates in the ninth inning there. Of course, that inning was to get into extra innings, and we all know how the Twins have done in extra innings. So maybe they lose anyway, but just to have it go down that way, and again, the Twins beating themselves was just a very difficult thing to reconcile with after Saturday, especially, and given everything else that's happened this season, to watch that, really tough. And then, on top of everything else, Kenta Maeda really didn't show any signs of encouragement in this game. He looked bad and possibly looked not 100%. And then Max Kepler, who had a 3-run homer in this game, exited with a hamstring injury. So just like the hits keep on coming, it's hard to find silver linings. The Twins did show some fight in this game on Sunday. I was encouraged by that. And Drelton Simmons hit another 8th-inning home run for the Twins. Sano's was the game winner. Simmons hit a game-tying home run, a 2-run home run in the 8th to erase that deficit. So that was really nice to see them not just kind of fold in the later innings, but the finish, again, it was just absolutely deflating. Just made me sick to watch that, to be honest with you. And up next, the Twins, it's not getting any easier. They're going to host the White Sox in a 3-game series at Target Field. Chicago just split a 4-game series with Kansas City, so they're still playing pretty good. And, there are no easy games for the Twins right now. They've got one of the worst records in baseball, but clearly the White Sox, a team playing extremely well, and a team I sense that they're extra motivated to kind of get the Twins out of the way. So this is a big series. I mean, the Twins can't not have a big series at this point. They're all big. So, again, just the team has to try to take it in small bits. That's not gone well so far. A series loss here against Oakland. They lose 1-2. And, we will just keep on keeping an eye on this team. And again, I'll keep up with these series recaps. We might tweak the formats a little bit. We may try some new things every now and then, but we'll keep talking about every series. Again, thank you so much for clicking on this video. I really appreciate it. This has been Tom for more Twins Talk here on YouTube. Again, helping me hit 2,500. That would be awesome if we could do that today. It would turn around my day a little bit, to be honest. But if you've got any takes, if you've got any opinions from this series, if you have any reflections, if you have any thoughts on Miguel Sano long term, definitely let's strike up a conversation down in those comments. I might not reply to everything, but I will read them all. So again, thanks for checking this out.